Hola, ¿cómo están? Hi everyone, how are you? I just wanted to send a video to let you all know how I'm doing, what I'm doing, and how God is working in my life here in Costa Rica. So, I'm doing great. Life is good. I have a wonderful host family. They do not speak any English, so I have learned Spanish quite quickly. Along with where I work, most people speak Spanish, and if they speak English, not usually much. So I practice a lot, and I hope to be able to continue using that when I return to the States. Um, and the country is so beautiful, so beautiful, and so welcoming here. Everyone really appreciates the help that they get here. And obviously, you can see in the background, I am in like a kid's classroom. If they call it a kinder. So I work with kids ages 1 to 6, depending on the day. Sometimes we have one kid, kids. Sometimes we have 10 kids. Sometimes it can get really difficult when you have to change a diaper and make sure another kid isn't running out the door or tearing the papers off the walls. But overall, it's a really good experience, and I love the kids. And I know I'm really serving here in this classroom because there was only one teacher before I arrived, and she needs help. There were times that she just couldn't go to the bathroom during the day because she had to watch the kids. She only had one person herself to clean up after a mess when the kids are trying to run and play with Play-Doh and go outside. I have no idea how she did it. So just keep in your prayers that when I leave, that they find someone else to fulfill this position, because it's necessary. And this place that I work is called Reynolds, and it is basically an establishment for either teenagers to come in from the area or adults to come in and study, just basic studies, whether they dropped out or just never went to school. Because there is not a high school established in this area, so they have to go out and take the bus further or walk far to get to one. So this is the only place in Carpio that provides any sort of higher education, and the goal is for them to study for the government exams, pass those, and then continue on to university here in Costa Rica. So they do really, really great things. The kids I work with are actually the children of a lot of the mothers that are students here at Renuevos. In Carpio, which is the small community I work, they also have a clinic for people in the area who do not have access to health care. And they also have a school/church, where they also have clubs and things that they work with older adults, or children, where they study the Bible or do activities, just to keep them busy and doing things that are safer than hanging out on the streets. And there are tons of other ministries that go on in San Jose, which is the main city here. And Carpio is like a subsection of San Jose. I personally live in Pavas, which is another small subsection, that I have to take the bus every single day. I leave at 8 a.m. I leave at like 6:30 a.m. and I arrive in Carpio at 7:30ish. I help with one of the other ministries to clean up the classroom, where some of the other missionaries teach English. And then at about 8 o'clock, 8:15, I walk over down the street to where I work. So yeah, that is what I'm doing here. And what God is doing in my life, so many things. It's kind of hard to put into words the experience that you have when you leave the country and you're serving as a missionary. I think God is teaching me to be thankful for the things I have in the States. He's teaching me the importance, which is already so important to me, but the importance of communication. Obviously, you can share God's love with people without words. But for me, I've realized how important it is to be able to speak the language, to really dig in and to understand people. And I'm so thankful that I feel God is blessing me with the language quite quickly, which is really, really great. Even though it's still a struggle every day, my brain is always turning. I think I'm learning more and more how important it is to just love all people. There's been some tension between some of the missionaries here, and it's been a great learning experience to kind of understand that everyone, even from the same country, can have tension, but at the end of the day, we have to remember that we're all here for the same purpose, that we're all here to serve Jesus. And I'm also learning that God really, really, really wants us to commit to Him 100%. It's so easy to get caught up in our lives, like even as a missionary here. It's easy to think that God will just, you feel Him in every single thing you do, and not that He's not there, but it's so important to intentionally dig deep, like read the Bible every day and pray and trust in Him that He has everything under control. I think it's also important to humble yourself. God is teaching me humility, and how important it is to ask for help when you need help. Coming here to another country by myself, obviously the first time I've left the country was terrifying, and I'm a super independent person, so it wasn't too hard to leave necessarily, because I knew I was doing the right thing. But to have to ask for help in whatever way you can, because there's such a language barrier sometimes, is humbling, because we don't want to always ask for help. Our culture tells us that we have to be independent, especially in the States, but here in Costa Rica or in other Latin American countries, it's normal to depend on other people. It's normal to depend on your family for everything. And the hospitality here, God is showing me, and I know a lot of the other missionaries, that we need to be thankful for our family, and we need to be thankful, or to be more hospitable. They will take someone into their home and feed them, even if they only have a bowl of rice. It doesn't matter. It's common courtesy, and that's just how it is. And I think we need to be a little more like that, or I need to be more willing to share. Learned that in kindergarten. But yeah, I'm really enjoying myself here. Keep me in your prayers. Pray for the ministry and everything they're doing here. Pray that they continue to incorporate Jesus into the studies in whatever way possible, even though it's a clinic and a school, to just allow God's love to shine in everything that they're doing here. Pray for the kids in this area, because it can be very dangerous. There's a lot of gangs, and it's easy to get caught up in drugs if you're not surrounded by the right people. Just pray that the kids find Jesus and don't feel the pressure or need to be filling a void with those other things. And yeah, I think that is all. I hope that you are all doing well, and I hope to see you soon.